Hello, we're going to go over parts of, my dog is barking, your inheritance gizmo. That is your assignment for week 1 of distance learning. So this first video that you're watching right now is going to be the gizmo warm-up. If you need help going through that, I'm going to go through that right now step by step together so that everybody understands what we're supposed to do for that. So go ahead and sign into Google Classroom, which you're probably already here if you're watching this, and find the Inheritance Gizmo fillable worksheet. And it's going to look like this when you open it up. Everybody's going to get their own copy. And we're going to go through the first part down to Activity A today together, or in this video. So at the top, your vocabulary that you're going to be going over during this lesson: acquired trait, asexual reproduction, clone, codominant traits, dominant trait, offspring, recessive trait, sexual reproduction, and trait. Use the gizmo, which you're going to sign into later, to complete the sections below. Type all answers into the red boxes below. So the prior knowledge questions, we're going to go over these first before we open the gizmo. Number 1 asks you 2 different things. How are you similar to your parents? Any way that you can think of, how are you similar to your parents? And then the second part is, how are you different? So you would click on in the red box and start typing your answer. I am similar to my parents, or I am similar to my parents, or you could say, I have blank, 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 just like my parents. Anything that you can think of that makes you the same as your parents. The second part of that question is, how are you different? So opposite idea. I have this that's different than my parents. I'm different than my parents because maybe you have curly hair and your parents have straight hair. Maybe you have blue eyes and your parents have brown eyes. However, you are different from your parents. So that's the first question, number 1. You're going to go down to number 2. Number 2 says, a trait is a characteristic. Think about your physical traits. Physical traits are things like your eye color, your skin tone, your height, your hair, what your face looks like, the facial features, allergies you have, anything that is something that you can actually see. And what of those traits that you're naming do you think you inherited or received from your parents? So a good way to look at this question might be to go up and look at, how are you similar to your parents? Because some of those things that you are similar to might also be inherited traits. So to start your answer, you would say something like, I think I inherited whatever it is from my parents. Tell me any of the things: eye color, skin tone, all of those things that you think you inherited from your parents. And once you're done with that, then you are going to go to explorelearning.com and open up the inheritance gizmo that should be on your class page. If at this point you do not know your gizmo login, please send me an email so that I can get you that information. When you get the gizmo login up and running, this is what you're going to see. It's kind of a weird looking scene. And then over here, you have a button that says create alien. So I'm going to drag this one to the exit hole and I can make a new one. So the first thing we're supposed to do says, in the inheritance gizmo, you can create and breed aliens based on an imaginary planet. Select asexual reproduction. During asexual reproduction, a single parent produces offspring or children. You're going to click create an alien and create your own alien. Describe its traits in the parent row of the table, which is right here down below. So over here, we're going to click asexual reproduction and then create an alien. I'm going to go with a thicker alien, blue skin, straight, and how about, I like the stripes tattoo. And we're going to drag it over here And we're going to, in the table below, fill out our parents' information. So for body type, I would say thick. For skin color, it is blue. I can type. Antenna shape is straight. And the tattoo is stripes. So I've done the first part. Don't worry about this column or this row right here for offspring. We're going to come back to that. It says drag the parent over to the parent 1 space and press reproduce. Fill in the offspring traits on the table above. What traits appear to be inherited from the parents? So I've already dragged it over here. Now I'm just going to click the reproduce button. It's going to go through its little process. And now I have a baby who does not look as thick as the parent. So I'm going to say that's a medium. The skin color is blue. The antenna shape is straight. And it does not have any tattoos, so I'm going to type in none. And then drag the parent over. What traits appear to be inherited? So this is where I'm going to look and see which ones are the same. So to me, it looks like the only two that are inherited in mine are the skin color, because they're both blue, and antenna shape, because they're both straight. And then it says, because this offspring inherits its traits from one parent, it is called a clone, which is kind of what we talked about. We talked about how they're identical genetically. And that's all for the Gizmo warm-up. So check out the next video after this one if you need help with activity A.